The U.S. spends 1/10,000th of its national budget on fighting cancer, the second leading cause of death in the world. It spent 300 times more on COVID, though COVID never killed as many people as cancer does. So that was a sensible thing for a rational and well-ordered society to do. I think the reason may be that cancer victims make the fatal mistake of being unfashionable. I mean, dying of cancer is so second millennium. It's all well and good to want to save people's lives, but we want some new car smell on them. I mean, COVID was all the rage. We can't be expected to care a fraction as much about passé dying people. And don't even start on the terminally ill. Boring. Or maybe we don't spend on fighting cancer because it's so glaringly obvious that we don't give a shit. If we were serious about fighting cancer, we'd stop dumping known carcinogens into the environment. Crazy how that works, huh? You dump cancer-causing stuff into the environment and people get cancer. Who would have thunk it? It's like we're bugs dousing ourselves with pesticide. Because that's a sensible thing for a rational and well-ordered society to be doing. But God help us if we actually do something about it, because that would involve government regulation, and everyone knows all government regulation is evil. As opposed to 10 million people dying every year from cancer, which is 100% hunky-fucking-dory. You, me, and all the large corporations should be free to douse everyone with as many carcinogens as we please, because that's what freedom's all about, right? Even if that doesn't even make sense from a far-right libertarian perspective. I have the right to swing my fist anywhere but where it hits your nose. But when it hits your nose, I should be in trouble because I didn't make responsible use of my freedom and you suffered for it. That's libertarianism. I'm free to douse any hermetically sealed room in my home with carcinogens. But if I douse you, I should be in trouble. But somehow it never works out that way for the large corporations. Worst case is they pay a few million on billions of profits. And it is only the large corporations who douse people with carcinogens. My wife, my father, and 2 of my closest friends didn't die because one person or millions of people had a carbon footprint that was too big. They didn't die because somebody didn't do their recycling. They died because one or a handful of large corporations dumped lots of carcinogens into the environment. The large corporations want to emphasize individuals' role in saving the environment to distract us from that. You know who funded a big ad campaign to popularize the phrase carbon footprint? British Petroleum. Hey, here's a thought. Why don't we do what we need to do to bring cancer deaths down 25% in 10 years and another 25% in the 10 years after that? Why don't we spend 1/100th of the national budget on fighting cancer instead of 1/10,000th? Why don't we criminalize dumping carcinogens into the environment? Because those would be sensible things for a rational and well-ordered society to be doing.